Hello everyone, Jonny Skywatcher here. I'm gonna hope everything went okay. Hi, if you don't know who I am, Jonny Skywatcher. This is my channel where I usually like to talk about movies, TV, all that sort of stuff. Sometimes movie news. Maybe I'll get to some today, but today mostly I want to talk about Doctor Who. If does anybody still watch Doctor Who? I don't know. So, if you weren't aware, Doctor Who is okay. I'm not going to cover the whole. If you don't know what Doctor Who is, I'm not going to cover that for you. If you're not caught up with Doctor Who is on its 13th Doctor. I think starting. I don't know when she was cast. Jodie Whittaker is the 13th Doctor, the first female Doctor. And when she was cast, there were a lot of Doctor Who fans who were upset. There were a lot of people who were happy about it too. I was never on the outrage side. I was hopeful for it, and I watched the first episode and I found it to be pretty disappointing. So I have watched. I don't know what series they're on. Series 11 and Series 12. Those are the past two seasons, and they had a New Year's special after Series 11, and just recently on this New Year's they had another New Year's special between the 12th and then this year presumably we're going to get the 13th season. So I have to admit I am not really a big fan of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Not from not wanting to like the character. I just think the main thing with the show is that the writing isn't very good. Since with this newest iteration of the Doctor, they had a new showrunner, and I think one thing that is agreed upon by a lot of Doctor Who fans is that he's not doing a very good job. Chibnall is his name, I think. And I think most people a lot of fans agree that the writing is definitely one of the biggest problems with the show right now. So yeah, the writing hasn't been very good, and I don't want to definitively say that the 13th Doctor isn't very, very good, because maybe with better writing, it could be better. But certainly it's been a big issue, especially having 3 companions hasn't helped at all. I had hoped, and I'll get to it later when I'm talking about the episode, that they would eliminate the 2 of the companions and go down to 1. And I had thought that's what they were going to do, but it turns out they're not going to do that for the next season. 2 of the characters do depart the show. And does anybody care about spoilers for this show? If you're watching this, I may or may not spoil anything. I don't care. I don't think anybody really cares about this show. So, what am I doing? Okay. So let's talk about the main episode. So, we are talking about Revolution of the Daleks, which this image is actually pretty cool. And my overall thoughts about this episode, after seeing it, I have to say I found it to be very mediocre, but passably mediocre. Instead of there were definitely episodes in this last season that I was like, no, that was just bad. That was just sort of offensively, not just mediocre. It was just bad. And this was more passable, but by no means good. The I think the bright moments. It was nice to see Captain Jack back, and they had sort of these small call outs to certain things, and I the writing with the companions, if I can even remember their names, Yaz, Graham, and the other guy's name. Yeah, I didn't care for it in this episode. That didn't really change. I saw a lot of people saying that basically Yaz is in love with the Doctor. Watching it, I didn't really pick up on that. Rewatching some of the scenes, I can kind of see what they're getting at, and maybe that's what they're going for. I think it would be, I don't know. I think it would be kind of dumb if they do that. I would hope that would be just a one-sided thing, because I even looked it up on Tumblr. It's Tasman is the ship. Once they start like just doing Tumblr ships on the show, they've completely lost their way, and I know there's been rumors about recently that this next season is going to be Jodie Whittaker's last season, but Chibnall's going to stay on. So, really, unless they get rid of Chibnall, nothing's going to change on this show. Anyway, so the episode opened up. I'm not going to do like a step-by-step review of the show. I know some channels will do that, but they opened up in this sort of prison thing. So I'd kind of completely forgotten what happened at the end of the last season. So I think I don't know, some things blew up and then she got arrested, I guess. So the Doctor was in this kind of space prison thing, and it had some sort of interesting visuals. The most interesting part about this was really this prison with all the different cells. They had a lot of different call outs to various Doctor Who creatures and things. I think you saw you see the Silence, the Bating, which they referenced the 13th Doctor, which no one cares about. No one cares about the Bating. But yeah, that's nice. Nice that you acknowledge your own episodes, Chibnall, I guess. This was written by Chibnall too, so you can tell it's not the greatest. And yeah, there's the 13th Doctor just in prison doing nothing because, I don't know, because she got told that she's the origin of the Gallifreyans getting their regeneration abilities, I guess. Why does that matter? I don't know. It's just kind of dumb, to be honest. And really, honestly, this episode does not use the fact that the Doctor is in prison that much. I think she's in prison for like this whole scene setup she's in, and then it goes back to Earth with the characters, and then the next time it cuts back to her, Captain Jack is breaking her out. So I guess it was a nice use of the character, and honestly, I don't really know what else they could have done in the prison. I mean, of course, a better writer could have done something with that storyline, but they were never going to do anything interesting with that, so might as well just get it over quickly. So Captain Jack shows up, pretty quickly and breaks her out of the prison. Well, I guess companions on Earth are doing their thing. And the whole episode revolves around, I guess, the Dalek equipment being used by the people on Earth. They scavenge the Dalek that was in the New Year special I think, was it 2 years ago or something like that? It was a while ago. And because they took a big break between season series 11 and series 12. And so yeah, just a lot of the episodes was like, okay, for some reason they brought this guy back. I don't know why. They don't do anything with this character that's interesting. They just wanted it kind of seemed like they wanted a Trump stand-in, so let's bring in this guy again, the American businessman who wants to be president. Okay, I guess. And then, the guy, he's working with the future, I guess she gets made prime minister, and then this other scientist guy, I guess, and they decide to, he sells her this Dalek, which is the future of security. Okay, well, it's not really a Dalek, it's just the machinery. It's empty inside, it's just a computer running it, and so they do that. and then what's really confusing is because it jumps forward, a year. So they've been manufacturing these things, and it turns out this guy, he found some biological matter, and he decides to clone it, and that's how we get Daleks again in this episode. Because that makes perfect sense. It's one of those things, like, it's not offensively bad. It's not offensively bad sci-fi writing, but it is pretty mediocre. Like, really, you just find some sort of biological stuff, and you're like, I wonder if I can clone it. What? And then this isn't a character who's like a mad scientist or something like that. He really seems to have no motivation to do this. And upon discovering it, that the American businessman, I don't remember his name, says, "What the hell are you doing? Destroy!" And then, destroy. We never talked about this. And when he's taking it to the thing to destroy it, Daleks. I don't know if this is a thing from Classic Who or not, or if it's just now. But apparently, Daleks are facehuggers now. That's just like a full thing. I haven't seen anyone else talk about this really. But our Daleks are just facehuggers from Alien? I always thought there was that. I think that was something they kind of introduced in the New Year's special last year, with the Dalek controlling the humans by attaching it to it. And I guess, but it just why is this a thing now? Why are Daleks? But Daleks they're just facehuggers now. Anyway, of course, this Dalek gets control of him, and then it starts, using him to make more Daleks, and something that really confused me. I'm sure it has something to do with something they introduced in the last New Year special. The Daleks that are being produced, like the biological Daleks, are being produced in Japan, in Osaka, which is clearly not Japan, but they wanted to put it in a location like that. It's clearly just a warehouse. You never see any like establishing shots or anything to make it look like Japan. It's clearly just a warehouse, and the Dalek armor, or whatever you call it, is being manufactured somewhere in the UK, I guess. And something that really confuses me, and they don't really explain it in the episodes. I don't even know if there is an explanation. For some reason, ultraviolet light causes the Daleks to teleport to their armor. Okay, what? I don't know. And then the solution that the brilliant solution the Doctor comes up to for this is to call in this sort of Dalek extermination squad from somewhere, who like a purification sort of squad, and they come in, and they start killing these rogue clone Daleks because they have human DNA, which of course makes them bad. They're not pure Dalek. And but then they have to get rid of these new Daleks that they brought in, and I don't know. It's not really worth getting into, but other points of the episode. Jack has a heart-to-heart with Yaz, and which he's basically talking. I don't know. It doesn't matter. None of the episode really matters. Oh, also, the Daleks go around shooting and killing people. And I know that's a thing where, like, some people would say, well, haven't people seen Daleks before? And I think it's pretty established at this point that each time they introduce a new Doctor, especially when they introduce a new show writer, they kind of soft reboot the series. Stuff in the past did happen, and they'll reference everything, but in terms of how the public experiences it, it's sort of like a soft reboot. It's always the first time humans are seeing aliens, especially when they just seem to plain up forget. I mean, sometimes they'll kind of work around it and just place it a little bit further in the future or something like that. But no, I think like episodes like this, they plain ignored anything in the past. So like this is the first time it's ever happened. And in general, I think that works for Doctor Who. I don't think that's necessarily a problem. I think I'm not a huge stickler for continuity when it comes to a show like this. So yeah, in conclusion, I have to say it wasn't terrible. It wasn't unenjoyable to watch. I definitely enjoyed watching it compared to some of the stuff I've seen in the past. This is not the worst. I felt like the previous New Year's special, which Doctor Who used to do Christmas specials, and now they're doing New Year's specials. I don't really care, but I know that's kind of a sore point for a lot of fans who are used to Christmas special. Now it's New Year's for some reason, because they claim they ran out of ideas, even though the fact that it's New Year's has almost nothing to do with the episode. It's just a holiday special at this point that they don't want to put on Christmas. And it apparently got very bad ratings, despite, the UK basically being under lockdown. This is not what people want to watch. So there's that. Now looking forward to the rest. The upcoming season 13. They did get rid of 2 companions, Graham and what's his face. Who cares? They're gone now. They departed. Like he was acting like he wanted to go the whole episode, and then Graham kind of just went with him because he's his step granddad. So I guess whatever, they're gone. And I had hoped, because we had heard about this, how these 2 actors were departing the show, that we would get down to just 1 companion. Turns out that's not the case. They are bringing on a new actor. I'm not familiar with him at all, and I totally forgot the actor's name. But they did a slight stinger of this person is coming to Doctor Who. Like, okay, so anyway, yeah. So I really genuinely hope they're able to do something better with the companions, though. At least it's 2 rather than 3 companions. I don't know if I ever talked about it in a video, but I did think that you couldn't really eliminate the way they've had the companions. with Yaz, Graham, and what's his face. I didn't think you could eliminate just one, unless it was Yaz. So I think it does make more sense if you do want to go down to 2 companions to get rid of both Graham and what's his face, and go to Yaz and someone else, someone new. And honestly, I don't have very much hope for Yaz's writing, and I don't think a Yaz 13th Doctor romance would be very good. And hopefully, the fact that they're bringing in someone new definitely means. To me, that tells me they're not going to do that. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe that's what we're going to see, and I'm just not that interested. I'm not interested in seeing a lesbian Doctor romance with especially with 2 characters. That aren't written very well and aren't that very interesting. So hopefully this new character can bring some new life. Maybe we can get some better writing. If the writing is done the same, honestly though, I don't hold too much hope for this series. Honestly, you have to look at the writers and see who. If it's the same sort of writers as past seasons, I don't think anything's going to change, because I don't know. You just need to bring in new writers. Definitely need a different showrunner, and that might not happen. And honestly, it kind of seems like maybe they should just take a long break after this next series, because it seems like people are losing interest. I don't know. That might be my interest from what I see on the internet, but it kind of seems like people have just generally lost interest in Doctor Who. It doesn't have the same kind of fan outcry as it did before. At least, especially when Jodie Whittaker was cast. It kind of seems like a lot of people have given up. Kind of like Star Wars was before The Mandalorian came out. Like, fans had pretty much just written off, like, yeah, they ruined that show. They ruined that series. So, yep. So what could they do, I guess a new Doctor. If it's Chibnall, I don't see how it would improve at all. It has to be a new Doctor and a new showrunner. That's all I know to get the show to work again. And we're not going to see that until at least Series 14. The Series 13, I'll still watch it, but I'm not expecting anything much out of it. Anyway, what did you watch Doctor Who? I see that I missed one person showed up in the comments. The Doctor Who a stream about me. I'm sorry I missed that. Although your username is Doctor Who, if the stream was about the Doctor, I'm pretty sure they would have named themselves The Doctor, not Doctor Who. Come on. Anyway, I need to stop saying anyway so much. It's such a bad habit. So, did you watch Doctor Who Revolution of the Daleks? What did you think? Do you agree with me that it was just kind of mediocre? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Let me know in the comments below. And I think I'm going to call it a day at there. I don't really have much else to talk about. I did have one thing with like Roku buying Quibi, but who cares? It's Quibi. Nothing much else to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to start doing videos weekly again, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's a new year. You never know. And I know that the camera quality isn't great, but I am trying to do slight improvements on the show. The one thing that's not helping is, so with the audio right now, I think it works a lot better if I hold the mic up. And at least from me, for like when I listen back to the episode, the audio sounds a lot better this way. But the problem is, I have to hold it. And so it makes everything more difficult for me. Well, I can do something sort of like just one-handed with the mouse while I, hold the mic and talk into it, but it does make it a little bit more difficult. So I don't know. I'm sort of conflicted when it comes to this channel about whether to try investing a little bit more money to improve the sort of production. And also I'm conflicted. I'm not sure which areas specifically to try. So there would basically be 3 main areas right now, I think, that I could try investing a little bit more money into, but I don't know if I should or not. and that's the lighting. Lighting is always a big thing. The camera, I really do just have a basic webcam, which I think it's only 720p. So I could bump that up a little bit more, or try getting some sort of digital camera, but I think the lighting is almost a little bit more important than that. But I don't know. And then obviously the microphone. I think in terms of quality by itself, this microphone is okay. The problem is this tiny little stand I have, which it came with, isn't good enough. Because it's always like I'm here and then it'll be like way over here and like way down there. And like I've tried doing like a I have a stool here and I've tried like stacking books on it to get it closer, but really none of it is close to where it needs to be. And I don't know. I was looking at the sound thing, which actually says that I'm being too loud. I don't know. I'll have to listen to the playback. Hopefully I'm not too loud. I don't think I am, even though it seems to think that I'm going to the red. But it sounds so much better when it's up here. I don't know. I think I could maybe put the mic on some sort of stand or something like one of those. Like, I wonder if because it has the screw thing, it's screwed onto this. So I think it would maybe be able to put on one of those more professional mic stand things. Anyway, all things to think about. Honestly, you didn't have to watch that. I don't know why you did. If you did. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will have to see you in the next video. Bye.